Ashley Trevino avoids jail time for now. On Wednesday, August the 5th, Ashley Trevino went to court for her final pretrial hearing and ended up taking a plea deal. Now, a lot of us were surprised that she was being offered a plea deal. We were kind of watching and monitoring the situation, and we got word that court had been dismissed and that they would re-adjourn at 3 p.m. that day. And when they did, it was found out that she did accept a plea deal, which saved her from getting any jail time. For now, that is. So there is a possibility that Ashley could go to jail if she's not able to adhere to the terms of her probation. There's actually a big movement on TikTok from Ashley's supporters to get people to go over to Snapchat because that is now going to be considered her main source of income. And she's basically rage baiting the heck out of her audience on TikTok. So they'll go over to Snapchat, watch her stories so she can get paid. So Ashley Trevino does have an LLC and she is verified on Snapchat. So that is considered a legitimate source of income or a legitimate job. So for everybody that really truly wants Ashley Trevino off the internet because of all the horrible things that she's done, coming on here and selling her daughter's medical information for galaxies, the using the Rose toy on live stream, having adult relations on live stream, and doing a lot of very inappropriate things in front of minors on live, then you guys have to stop watching her Snapchat stories. There are clip pages. I've highlighted a few of them in previous videos that I deem credible, that you can go watch their videos. They do post her Snapchat stories. I actually don't post her Snapchat stories on my platform anymore. I just rely on the clip pages. I just think that's better. I just want to report on the updates regarding her case and not get too involved into the everyday semantics of her just rage baiting everybody. In this first clip, you're going to see Ashley rage bait her audience because by now she knows that the court documents have come out. And she blatantly comes onto the internet and says the exact opposite of what the court document says, because this is what she does. She rage baits everyone, and then she's going to go over to Snapchat and post a bunch of stories and monetize it so that she can afford these massive fines that she has.
Y'all didn't know, Monday through Friday, I had to call into the Lion to see if I had to get randomly selected to get drug tested.
Something that really stood out to me in that clip was Ashley Trevino saying that she does not have to report to her probation officer. Well, that's not true. So we're going to get into some highlights of the court documents. We're not going to go over every single thing in the court documents, but I'm going to go over the important stuff. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys how you can get her off of TikTok permanently. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Stay till the end. Ashley actually did plead guilty to 2 felony fraud charges. One was for SNAP, the other was for healthcare fraud, and these are the conditions of her plea deal. So she was offered deferred adjudication. So provided she is able to complete the 2-year program, she will not be considered a felon. So right now, we can't technically call her a felon because she's in the program. She is on a state-ran program. These are state jail felonies. So she is on a program. So technically she is right. She's not a felon. Not yet anyway. She's going to have to do 120 hours of community service. And you know what? I think she's going to try to get out of that. I think Ashley is going to be too scared to try to do community service, but we'll just have to wait and see. And if any of you guys live close to her and you see her on the side of the road picking up trash, can you take a short video and send it to me? She has $500 in court and other fees that have to be paid. She has a $16,799.95 restitution she has to pay to the state of Texas. That is going to be broken down into a payment plan of $780 a month. That's what she was talking about in the clip, that she might just pay, you know, the whole thing in advance. And she's only saying that because people were already coming online and saying, you know, if you're calling everybody brokies, why can't you pay your court fees in full? Guys, we all know that she's not as rich as she says she is, but she's making hella money on Snapchat. So let's not get that part twisted. she's still making money. She has to take an anti-theft class so she learns how to not steal food from the state of Texas. She has a $60 per month supervision fee that I think that goes to the probation officer, but I could be wrong about that. It could be just the program in general. She has to stay 100 feet away from where the offense took place, so that's going to be the Medicaid and food stamp office. She has to report to her parole officer as instructed. It's in the court documents, ma'am. You have to report to them. But go ahead, don't report to them because then you'll go back to jail. She can't be involved in any criminal activity. She has to contact her parole officer within 48 hours of an arrest, or if she's even questioned by law enforcement. She's not allowed to use drugs or alcohol while on the program. She's not supposed to associate with anyone involved in criminal acts or be involved where a crime is taking place. So does that mean she can't talk to the inmates anymore? She has to avoid establishments where they serve alcohol, so like the casino. She can't go to the ABC store. She can't go to a bar. She can't even go to a restaurant where 51% or more of their sales are alcohol. So very similar to the bond conditions, they just rolled over to her adjudication conditions. She has to stay in Ellis County, and if she wants to travel more than 100 miles outside of Ellis County, she has to get special approval from her probation officer. If I've been saying parole officer, I mean probation. I get them confused. I'm not a convicted felon, so I have to, don't judge. She cannot have firearms, and she does have a curfew, y'all. So for the next 2 years, from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. in the morning, she cannot be outside. So I guess no late night trips to the bar for the next 2 years. She can't be on the glue. She can't, do the snow. She can't do any of that stuff. And I think this is where she's going to mess up. I don't think Ashley Trevino fully comprehends what is happening. I think that she really does think she's not guilty. Now, do I think she's trying to rage bait the audience and say stupid stuff online? I do. But I also think that she doesn't fully comprehend what's going on and the severity of what's happening. We had inside information as to what was going on inside the courtroom. So there's a follower of mine on TikTok who went to the courthouse. They were allowed inside, and they said Ashley Trevino was wearing like a tank top, the same black tank top that she's been wearing to every court appearance. She wore that again with a jean jacket and like jogging pants. That was a choice. They also said her hair was very unkept, and she wore the same big glasses that she wears on her TikToks. They also said when you see her in person that it's a sight, girl. And they even said that Ashley Trevino does not act the same way she does on TikTok, which we all kind of figured that. They said she was very meek, very mild-mannered. She even looked scared at times. And when the judge would ask her if she understood the terms of the plea deal, she was so quiet that he had to sternly tell her to speak up. Which is funny considering the fact that she comes on TikTok and she's yelling and scream talking and laughing real loud. But we all knew that was fake. We know that Ashley Trevino has no self-confidence. She has no self-esteem. And we all know she's scared of everybody.
Realize what the difference is between deferred and regular and why I took deferred. When you're just now waking up, getting out of bed, and you're the topic of everybody's TikTok live. You know what? I'm going to let everybody think what they want. But you need... Because by law, I am not found guilty at all. So, do your research. Since y'all want to be TikTok attorneys, do your research. TikTok paralegals, whatever y'all want to be, and look up the difference and why I was smart enough to take one from the other. Just look at that. So look into it, like really into it, because, and then of course people are like, oh, she's not gonna pass it, she's not gonna do it.
So we actually did research the difference between the two, and yes, technically she's not considered a felon, but she is guilty. She pled guilty to 2 state jail felonies, so she is guilty. She is technically not going to be considered a felon unless she breaks the terms of the program. It's kind of like it's in timeout until the program is completed, or she violates the terms of the program that she's on. Now, yes, if she completes the program, she will not be a felon. But if she's not able to complete the program, not only will she be considered a felon, but she will go straight to jail. And the judge made that very clear to her. Oh, and also the judge said that they received a lot of really good information. But I do want to encourage you guys that during this process, that if you're going to send clips to her probation officer, that they only directly correlate to the terms of her probation. You can't send clips of her saying that she doesn't like Monroe Bell or she doesn't like Carol C. They don't need to be inundated with stuff like that, because honestly, they don't care about stuff like that. So please, if you're somebody that did send in clips, or you plan to send in clips to the probation officer in the future, please make sure it's relevant to the case and factual to the case, and not your feeling or emotions. So the state of Texas brought up the Rose toy incident because I guess they probably received that clip more than anything else. And although it didn't really pertain to the case, they made it a point to tell Ashley Trevino that they were disgusted with her behavior online and she needed to shape up. I think that's hilarious. And I think that the state of Texas is going to send those clips. I hope they're going to send those clips over to the criminal division, like the cyber crimes division. And maybe, just maybe, Ashley Trevino could get another felony charge, in my opinion, hopefully. Listen, I don't think the state of Texas can have that information and know and make it a point to comment on it if they are not going to send those clips over to cyber crimes. I just think it's going to happen. I think it's a matter of time. And I think that's one reason why they were kind of lenient or gave her a slap on the wrist, because they know she's going to mess up. And I think they've got bigger plans for Ashley Trevino.
I'm not guilty, baby girl. Even though you want me to be guilty, it says I'm not guilty. The difference, I'm on deferred probation, okay? That means that it's not ever going to be on my record. Once I'm done with it, it's going to be like I never even got in trouble in the first place. And I'm never a convicted felon, so I'm not a convicted felon actually right now. So if I fill out paperwork, I don't have to put that I've been convicted, because I haven't. The judge found me not guilty.
I don't know what kind of team of attorney Ashley has. I heard from my follower that he's actually very nice. She came online, she made some videos, she said that he's very nice. I did talk to her privately too. She's so sweet. I love her. Her name is Time Bandit. If you guys want to go follow her on TikTok, amazing girl. Listen, Ashley Trevino, I hope she understands that it's not going to be completely wiped off of her record. She would have to file for an expungement, I think it's called, if she wants it to be taken off of her record completely. But she will have to select, yes, I've been convicted of a felony, if she doesn't complete the program and if she doesn't get that expunged off of her record. But we know that's not going to matter, because Ashley Trevino thinks she's an influencer and she's never going to go get a regular job.
Just because I pled guilty does not mean I'm guilty. I pled guilty because the plea of the pleaded.
So if you guys haven't figured it out by now, for the last 24 hours, Ashley Trevino has come onto the internet and said she's not guilty, but she pled guilty like a million times. And the fact that she said, I'm not guilty, but I pled guilty in the same breath is hilarious to me. And I couldn't do this video without showing you guys that clip. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Deferred means once I complete my probation, it's not staying on my record. I was never convicted of anything. That's smart, ain't it? The other one stays on your record and you're a felon. Okay? I'm not a felon. They never found me guilty in the court of law.
I'm starting to wonder if Ashley has an issue with comprehension, like reading comprehension, because she had to sign the plea deal. The plea deal says that she pleads guilty to this 2 state felony fraud charges. So how she's considered not guilty is beyond me. Listen, I really hope that somebody within her circle can really sit her down and explain this to her. You know what? I take that back. No, I don't. I hope that Ashley Trevino fucks up and she goes to jail, because that's what she deserves for all the horrible things she's done on the internet consecutively for the last few years. It's not like, listen, it's not like she came on here and she fucked up once or twice or 3 or 4 times and we showed her grace several times. So, she just fucked up. Social media is hard and, people bully her and blah, blah, blah. No, this lady has consistently for the last few years come on here and made a mockery of herself and done terrible, horrible things that we're not even going to get into in this video. Not to mention the fact that has an IP ban on TikTok right now. But don't worry. Listen, just hold on. We've got like one more clip we're going to watch, and then I'm going to tell you guys what you can do to try to get her off of TikTok for good.
And I do have to pay back the money, but it's only 1 payment a month, you guys. I could pay it up front if I want to. I can go pay it right now, but I'm not going to. I'm making payments.
Maybe Ashley can pay it back all at once if she wants to. I don't know. I do know based off of her follower count and the views that she's getting on Snapchat, she's making anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month. That's why it's super important that we cut off some of her resources. We cut off her marketing and her advertising to get people to go over to Snapchat. And TikTok is where everybody goes to network. I mean, you have celebrities doing battles on TikTok now because that's how they can grow their Instagram accounts or whatever other social media platforms they're on. Celebrities are battling now, and they can only fill up a room of like 100 people. It's seeing that in real time is the craziest thing I've ever seen. So TikTok is the place to be if you want to get noticed. So if we can get her off of TikTok permanently, we're going to start bleeding her account, starving her views. We cannot continue to allow bad people to monetize their behavior on the internet. It just can't happen anymore. So if you guys want to help with getting Ashley Trevino off of the internet, I need everybody to go once a day, not multiple times a day, once a day, and report her account. I know a lot of you guys tell me you report her lives and you get no violations back, or you're blocked so you can't report her live. Even if you're blocked, the best way to report Ashley Trevino and get her off of TikTok is to start reporting her account. I know a lot of people are reporting her live streams and they're getting no violations back, but what really matters is just reporting the account in general. So if you've been blocked by Ashley Trevino, because they are block heavy right now, they are blocking a lot of people that don't support her, the best thing for you to do is just to open up a separate web browser and go to tiktok.com, and then you're going to select report an issue. You're always going to go down to other so that you can basically type out a message. You do need her username for the account she's monetized on right now. It is AshTrev8. You're going to let them know in that box that Ashley Trevino has a current IP ban and is not supposed to be on TikTok, and she continues to come onto the platform under that account username, and she is depicting hateful behavior to others online on a daily basis. You're going to do that once a day until we can get her off of the internet for good. And listen, I understand you guys don't want to see her lives anymore and you want to get her lives taken down, but to be honest, with everything that's been going on with TikTok lately, we have to look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is just getting her off the app completely. And the way to do that is to have mass reports sent to TikTok on a daily basis, so they are forced to look at her account. We cannot keep her on TikTok. We can't allow her to be able to come on live. In my opinion, I joke around and say Ashley Trevino is a Lifetime movie waiting to happen, but I really do mean that. Ashley, she's kind of scary. Her obsession with women, her obsession even with me, and knowing what my daughter's profession is, and knowing everything I do and the way she obsessively watches me and other creators, it's, as much as we joke about it, it is very scary. And her emotional state is like a roller coaster, and we just can't have her on live anymore. The things she's done in the past on live streams and the things I think she could get desperate enough to do just for views, it's just something we can't risk anymore. So if you really don't like Ashley Trevino, please report her once a day directly to TikTok until we get her off. And please do not watch her live streams. Do not go and watch her Snapchat stories. We have to get people like Ashley Trevino off of the internet. Our emotional and mental health is too fragile to have people like her on the internet. There's no telling what she's going to do, and she's just got to go. But what do you think of today's video? What do you think about Ashley Trevino's little plea deal that she did? Do you think she's going to mess up, or do you think she's going to walk the straight and narrow and be a good mom to her kids? Make sure you let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.